Welcome back to the DFS Sweatshop. I am your host, the DFS Jerusalem, and you can follow me on Twitter at DFS Jerusalem. Tonight, we're going to be going with our regular formatting of the show. It was an ugly six-game slate. Um, I broke even on DraftKings and tripled my buy-in on FanDuel. And we're going to talk about why that happened and how I was able to do that in just a moment. But first, let's go ahead and jump into the Core 4 review. Now, every day I send out to the VIP members in our Facebook group and also to all of the paid subscribers. Thank you very much for my paid subscribers that are logging into the website and getting access there. Just to let you know, there will be no more admission into the Facebook group for that the VIP is set. Those are the people that have been down since day one. Those are the ones that made it into the Facebook group. Um, that is the VIP, as well as the paid subscribers that are joining. I'm so happy and so impressed with the support that you all have been showing me. But let's go ahead and I'm gonna tell you, I send this core four out as well as the daily spreadsheets and my player pool. These are the guys that I'm playing, and the reason why I show you through video is because I want you to trust me as an honest DFS player who plays the guys that I say, because we know the other sites, they are all about the misdirection. They will tell you to be on a certain guy, and you look and you see him on the leaderboard, and that's not who they're playing. So in the DFS Sweatshop, we love to keep it 300 and keep it honest with all of our followers, all the subscribers, and the family members. We thank you from the bottom of our hearts. Thank you for joining in. And if you want a shout out, man, change your DK or FanDuel or Fantasy Aces sweat to the sweatshop logo, because we want them to see us coming. We're striking a blow to all of the sharks out there, all of the 150 lineup cats. We're gonna show them that we're coming. Now, let's go ahead and jump into the core four that I send out every day. Today was not as awesome as it was, not at all as good as it was on yesterday's core four. And see, that's the thing. The core four strategy is not about my picks. It's not just about who I say I'm playing. I just tell you who I'm playing, so when you see my lineups, you see that I have those guys. That's the only reason for that. And of course, I'm a more experienced DFS player, so my picks sometimes are going to be better than the new guys' picks. But you can establish your own core and roll with it. All I want to do is see you take first, second, and third in the tournament. I want you to win across multiple sites because you stuck to your core of players and went and followed through with the rest of the core four roster building strategy that is highlighted on the website and in the VIP Facebook group, because that is how you become a profitable DFS players. Let's go ahead and jump to the core four. We're going to start with Ricky Rubio, 4.7K in salary, very cheap for a starting point guard. The matchup was tough against San Antonio because, of course, Popovich defense is always something to be wary of. Started off with 11% ownership, really good ownership on Ricky Rubio. He scored 22.75 DraftKings points, not at all where we wanted to be, but he didn't kill the core four the way some other guys did. The next guy that killed the core four is going to be Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. And my issue with him is, he plays well and plays bad in streaks. He's a very streaky player, and I just rostered him faithfully until the streak ended, and it did tonight. So he's probably going to have a couple more shitty games before he wakes back up and has a couple more good games in a row. At 5.7K, he had 14% ownership. It was pretty low ownership on a 6-game slate for him. He had 21.75 DraftKings points. Not a very good showing for Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. The next guy is going to be Kawhi Leonard. Now, we thought we were going to get popped with this pick because in the first quarter, he only played 4 minutes. But he ended up finishing strong at 7.8K, 18% ownership, which is really low for a player of that caliber. He went out and scored 42.75 DraftKings points. Really nice game from Kawhi Leonard. And rounding out the core four was Hassan Whiteside. 9.6K, 26% ownership. A lot of people were on him. He goes out and scores 51.5 DraftKings points. Pretty decent game from Hassan Whiteside, but not that 6x value. Together, my core four combined for 138.75 DraftKings points. They should have gotten 166.8 DraftKings points, so we fell minus 28.05 under the total that we desired going into the core four. Now, the next four guys, the feature four, are the players that were the most talked about, tweeted about guys, whether in the VIP or on the website and on Twitter. Because those are the different levels to the sweatshop. Either you're on Twitter with us as family, you're on YouTube with us as family viewing, you have a paid subscription and you're help funding this whole movement, or you are in the VIP and you were on the ground floor of all of this in the Facebook group making it happen. Let's start with the Who Dat scoring all them points over there. Player of the night. That goes to Ersan Ilyasova at 4.6K in salary, 31% owned. A lot of people were on him. He goes out and scores 58.75 DraftKings points, 12x value. Awesome game from Ersan Ilyasova. The next guy is going to be how did I miss that play? This is a guy who we should have been on. He comes off of the bench, but he's still getting 30-something minutes in this Orlando offense, and that is Elfrid Payton. 4.4K, very cheap price on him. 11% owned, so not a lot of people were on him on a 6-game slate. That's a very low ownership for a player of that caliber. He goes out and scores 52.25 DraftKings points. Excellent game from Elfrid Payton. The heat check player tonight is going to go to no other than John Wall. We talked a lot about John Wall in last night's show, and I pretty much had him in 60% of my lineups. Very great game from John Wall. Goes out and scores a career high 52 real life points. Finishes with 75.5 DraftKings points at 8.7K. A nice salary for him. Anytime John Wall is under 9K, he is definitely in heavy consideration to be a high ownership as far as all of your lineups go. 27% ownership. Really, really nice game from John Wall. Now, we arrive at the one motherfucker who destroyed 19% of lineups around the DFS world. This snowflake, sorry son of a bitch, goes out at 5.4K on DraftKings and steals that salary from us and returns 13.75 DraftKings points. And that's why you, Evan Fournier, with your snowflake ass, are the snowflake of the night, you sorry son of a bitch, and we ain't gonna roster your ass again until you cut that bullshit ass man bun off of your motherfucking head and you go out there and you play ball like a goddamn man. What a bum. You a motherfucking snowflake. Old snowflake ass. We threw an interception. We're gonna get it back. They gotta give us the ball back. We're gonna live to fight another day. The key to the core four not panning out is our bankroll management. We didn't go all in. We only invest 10% of our complete bankroll so that when we don't hit on our core, we live to fight another day. That is the key. That is the process of becoming a profitable daily fantasy sports player. You must adhere to the bankroll management strategies, which you can find online at www.dfssweatshop.com. We give you a detailed graphic and also really good DFS help when it comes to bankroll management and making sure you got something to play with the next day if you didn't have a great night out. We're only targeting 4 of 10 slates. If we hit 4 of 10 slates, we're good. Last slate, we tripled our buy-in, so we had a little bit of house money to play with. We got a little too cute with the core 4. It didn't work out, but we went light, number one, because it was only a 6-game slate, and we stuck to the bankroll management strategy, so we've got more to invest when it comes to tomorrow's smashing 10-game slate that we're going to get into later on in the show. Now, let us go ahead and do a very quick recap of last night's NBA action. We are going to start with the first game on the slate. It was the Washington Wizards at home against the Orlando Magic. Pretty good game we saw, of course, from Elfrid Payton off of the bench. In 34 minutes, he had 15 points to go at 25. Excuse me. In 34 minutes, he had 25 points to go with 1 rebound, 9 assists, 3 steals, and a block. Pretty good game from Elfrid Payton. Bismack Biyombo got busy on him and grabbed 13 boards to go at 14 points, 3 blocks, and 2 assists. We saw a pretty decent game from Nikolai Vucevic. 10 rebounds, 10 points, and 6 assists to go with a steal. Nice game from him. On the Washington side, the only player to speak about was John Wall. 52 points, 4 rebounds, 8 assists, 3 steals. Nice game from John Wall in that one. We also saw Otto Porter for 27 minutes. He definitely disappointed with only 3 rebounds and 7 points. Markieff Morris looked like he was going to have a good game at certain spots during the game, but he finished with 10 points and 7 boards, 2 assists, and a block. Not a great game from him. Martin Gortat, he snatched 11 boards and had an assist, a block, and a steal, but he only scored 6 points. We need more from you in that situation, Martin Gortat. Let's go to the next game. It's going to be the Miami Heat at home against my New York Knicks. We saw a really nice scoring game from Carmelo Anthony. He's going to have these games where he goes out and he scores points in bunches. I believe he had 20 in the third quarter. Really nice game we saw from him. 35 points, 4 boards, and 2 assists to go with a block in 36 minutes. Thank you, Carmelo. We got the W. Derrick Rose, man, in 24 minutes, he went to get left out of the game with back spasms. He was having a pretty decent game until he went out. He had 10 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 steals for him. Kyle Quinn saw a massive amount of minutes in comparison to Joakim Noah, but Noah did grab 10 boards and have 10 points with 2 assists. That was a very cheap double-double if you had him in your lineups. And back to O'Quinn, he had 12 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal, and 2 blocks. The next game we're going to get into, let's talk about the Miami side, because we saw a decent game from Wayne Ellington. In 32 minutes, he had 14 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists, and 1 steal. Really nice game from Goran Dragic. He was the play of this game, actually. Scored 29 points to go with 4 rebounds and 7 assists with 2 steals. We saw Tyler Johnson for 36 minutes, and he grabbed 5 boards, had an assist, 2 steals, and 13 points. Hassan Whiteside, in his 37 minutes, had 14 rebounds, 23 points, 1 assist, 1 steal, and 3 blocks. The next game we're going to get into is going to be the Detroit Pistons at home against the Chicago Bulls. So a really nice game from Jimmy Butler, 32 points, 6 rebounds, and 4 assists to go with a block. Taj Gibson doubled in his 29 minutes. He grabbed 10 boards and had 11 points to go with 2 steals. Dwayne Wade, 7 assists, 3 rebounds, and 19 points with a steal in his 33 minutes. And then in a horrible game from Rajon Rondo. In 37 minutes, he had 2 assists, 1 block, 3 rebounds, and 10 points. Not good for Rajon on that particular stat line. Tobias Harris, who I was kind of scared about playing, ended up leading the team in scoring on the Detroit side. He played 40 minutes, had 22 points, 7 boards, a steal, a block, and 2 assists. Marcus Morris, who started off the game pretty hot, finished with only 13 points and a rebound. Not a great game from him. We saw Andre Drummond have a decent game. 10 points, 15 boards, 3 blocks, and a steal. Ish Smith kind of impressed me off of the bench. He played very well in that bench role. He had 10 assists, 5 rebounds, and 7 points in 29 minutes. Of course, because Reggie Jackson is being eased slowly back into the rotation as a starter. He only played 18 minutes, but he had 7 assists, 3 rebounds, and 7 points to go with 2 steals. Pretty decent for those 18 minutes. The next game on the slate was the Memphis Grizzlies at the Grindhouse against the Philadelphia 76ers without Joel Embiid, without Okafor is going to be out the next 2 games. But Ersan Ilyasova, man, had an awesome game. The Who Dat scoring them points over there, player of the night. 17 rebounds, 23 points, 4 assists, and 2 blocks. This dude is something special going forward. He also had a steal in this game. This guy's pretty good. Nick Stauskas, who I had too much of last night. Last night was too much sauce. But tonight, didn't roster him at all, and it paid out for me. He had 1 block, 1 assist, 4 rebounds, and 12 points. Rashawn Holmes, who was the industry chalk, everybody was on him. He had 10 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, and 3 blocks. Decent game at that salary. And Dario Saric, who I kind of like more than Ilyasova going into this game, he had 7 boards, 17 points, and a steal. On the Memphis side, we saw yet another great game from Marc Gasol. In 34 minutes, he grabbed 12 boards, had 26 points, 3 assists, 1 steal, and 2 blocks. Great game from Marc Gasol. We saw JaMychal Green go out and grab a double-double, had 10 rebounds to go with 13 points, 3 assists, 2 steals, and 1 block. Pretty nice game from Zach Randolph. In his 21 minutes, he had 14 rebounds, 12 points, and 1 assist from him. And Andrew Harrison and Troy Williams combined to shit us. They are not good, and they didn't have very good games last night. The next game we're going to get into is going to be the Minnesota Timberwolves at home against the San Antonio Spurs. Uh, like I said earlier, we thought we were going to get popped early in the first quarter, but Kawhi Leonard did finish strongly. 35 minutes he was on the court. He had 4 assists, 2 steals, 1 rebound, and 31 points. That was nice. LaMarcus Aldridge in 30 minutes did not do much with the ball. Three steals, 2 rebounds, and 6 points for him. Paul Gasol had a decent game at that depressed salary. He had 1 assist, 7 rebounds, and 11 points. The dude that started the game, Lapra Vitola, played 21 minutes and had 10 points to go with 2 assists. Not a great game from him, even at that minimum salary. We saw Patty Mills kind of fill up the stat sheet. 2 steals, 5 assists, 4 rebounds, and 15 points. Nice game from Patty Mills. The Minnesota side of the ball, Karl Anthony Towns was in the running to be a snowflake, man. He had not a great game, especially at that higher than 8K salary. Gorgie Jang was actually a good play. He had 9 rebounds and 16 points to go with a steal and assist. And Karl Anthony Towns, 14 rebounds, 11 points, 4 assists, 1 steal, and 1 block. We also saw 38 minutes of garbage from Andrew Wiggins. He had 11 points, 5 rebounds, and 2 assists. Not a great game from him. Chris Dunn off of the bench had 15 and 1 to go with 2 assists. Now also, Zach LaVine was a very good player in this game. He had 25 points, 3 rebounds, and 2 assists. Nice game from Zach LaVine. The next game and the last game on the slate is going to be the Utah Jazz at home against the Phoenix Suns. Now, this game was in danger of being a blowout, but the Phoenix Suns bench went the fuck off, and I'm sure nobody had them because why? They're the Phoenix Suns bench, and they usually suck. But in this game, they did not. Off of the bench, we saw a nice game from Brandon Knight, 15 and 7 to go with 5 assists. We saw a pretty good game from Leandro Barbosa, had 13 points to go with 3 rebounds, an assist, and a steal. And Devin Booker does nothing else but score 21 points. He had 2 rebounds, 1 assist, and 1 steal to go with those 21 points in 26 minutes. Tyson Chandler grabbed 5 boards and had an assist and 10 points. Not a great game from him. And Alex Len had 14 and 4 in 20 minutes after fouling out of the game. On the Utah side of the ball, yo, Gordon Hayward is the man, bro. Ever since he came back from injury, because he was hobbled with a little injury at the beginning of the season, I've been rostering him regularly. And Gordon Hayward is a fucking monster, bro. This dude is really good. In 35 minutes, he had 28 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals, and he was your late night hammer if you had him in your lineup, as well as Rudy Gobert. 38 minutes, 22 points, 11 rebounds, and 4 blocks. I want to talk to you real briefly about having a late night hammer. So a lot of people, they don't know, they feel different ways about, I look for value. Doesn't matter if he plays at 7, doesn't matter if he plays at 10. I'm going to explain to you the point to the late night hammer, the reason for the late night hammer. Let's just say Rudy Gobert. Tonight, I rostered Rudy Gobert in on a FanDuel lineup that I had, that I was able to triple my buy-in too. And he goes out and scores 40 FanDuel points. He was at 8% ownership. I guarantee you, if they play this game at 7 o'clock, Rudy Gobert's ownership is way higher than 8%. People want to see their money right now. You want to make $1 million before the 9 o'clock games even start and be so far ahead of everybody that it doesn't even matter who plays in the late games because you score so many points. But that's not the way DFS NBA works at all. I'm not saying you have to have a late night hammer, but if you've got a guy who you feel like is really, really good playing late at night, and you know the ownership is going to be just a little bit lower because he plays late and people are so inclined to want to see their points early, take a flyer on that guy. Boogie in a 10 o'clock game is way less owned than Boogie in a 7 o'clock game. That's just a part of the strategy that goes with DFS, NBA, DFS, baseball, even NFL. Guys in 4 o'clock games usually, or guys in the Sunday night game, usually aren't rostered with the frequency, no matter how good or bad they are, that guys are in earlier games. So ownership does matter. Having a late night hammer does matter. Rant over. Now, Boris Diaw in 33 minutes had 6 assists, 4 rebounds, and 13 points. Really nice game from him at that salary. And we talked about Rudy Gobert, man. He had 11 boards, 22 points, and 4 blocks. Excellent game from Rudy Gobert. Now that we've gone into a quick recap of last night's action, let us take a look forward tomorrow when it comes to our player pricing. We want to get a good read on who we can roster tomorrow, and the best way to do that is to go ahead and check out the player pricing pool, and let's see what's in there. Let's go to DraftKings right quick. Yeah, we were having a discussion about the late night hammer strategy, and it does work. It makes perfect sense because the guys that play later usually see less ownership. They just do. That's just a part of DFS. So it's always been. So go ahead, jump in here. We're gonna pull up all 10 games so that we can get a full ledger of everybody involved in tomorrow night's action. Right, go to all. And the reason why we do this is because we are trying to establish a player pool. We want to get a list of names first in our head before we put it on paper of guys that we like and just get a general overall feel for how we are going to start our roster building process, because the core four is going to come from the names you hear me call as I go down this list. And this is something I shouldn't be doing, but I love my YouTube family. Even if you didn't come over, even if you didn't decide to support the movement financially by subscribing, it's all good. I got you. Let's start with James Harden at 11.4K. He is the highest priced player on the slate. This is against the LA Lakers at Houston. I immediately like James Harden tomorrow. He's somebody who I'm definitely going to have in my rosters. Anytime I get a guy that good under 12K, especially this season with all the hike and pricing that we've seen on players, I like James Harden tomorrow. We've got Boogie Cousins at Dallas at 11K. I like that too. LeBron James at the New York Knicks at 9.9K. They don't need James to blow the Knicks out, so I don't think I'm going to be as heavy on LeBron James tomorrow. Giannis Antetokounmpo is probably going to be some industry chalk tomorrow at 9.8, taking on the Portland Trailblazers at home. You've got KD in the late game against the Clippers. This is always an awesome game. Anytime Golden State plays the Clippers, this is going to be an awesome game. So I can definitely look. See, this is a time where I don't have to worry about whether KD is going to get his full allotment of minutes or whether Curry is going to get his full allotment of minutes. This game usually plays well, and it's usually very high scoring and a nice game to watch. I'm off tomorrow too, so I'm going to be with you all day. So I like KD tomorrow against the LA Clippers. We got Hassan Whiteside at Atlanta, 9.2K. Pretty nice price on him. Dropped 400. We got Chris Paul at 8.8. Anytime Chris Paul is under 9K in a game like this, Chris Paul is one of my favorite plays on the slate already. I love Chris Paul tomorrow. We've got Dame Lillard at 8.7. Nice. Anytime the big slates are really great for point guards. Another tip is we want to roster as many ball handlers as possible. We've got on DraftKings, we got 4 opportunities to play a really good ball handler. And that's not even counting the small forward, the point forward position. We can go ball handler at 1 point guard spot, ball handler at shooting guard, ball handler at the regular guard spot, and then the utility can also be another guard. The smaller slates you can go double centers, but on a 10-game slate with this much point guard availability, you got to get as many point guards in there as you can. Now, Blake Griffin at 8.6, I like him. This definitely could be a game stack. Steph Curry at 8.5. I don't like him so much, but the price point is so good on Steph Curry in such a big game that he's definitely rosterable. We've got Kevin Love at 8K flat against the Knicks. I don't like that too much. We've got Porzingis at 7.9. I wish that was a little bit lower, but I do like Porzingis tomorrow. Paul George against Phoenix at 7.8. I think we can see a big Paul George game tomorrow. I really do, because the guys around him are hurt, and the roster is not complete and not playing well. So we might see a close game at Phoenix. I like Paul George tomorrow. Draymond Green is going to be a decent play at 7.7. Isaiah Thomas, he is questionable. Let's look at that going forward. We've got to keep our eyes on that. We got Andre Drummond against the Charlotte Hornets at 7.5K. I think that's a very nice play there. Andre Drummond in the back-to-back, but I'm not worried about that. Carmelo Anthony at 7.4 against Cleveland. Nah, I don't want none of that. Eric Bledsoe against Indiana. I love Eric Bledsoe tomorrow at 7.4K. Goran Dragic going up against Dennis Schroeder, who is a solid defender. The team is kind of banged up, but we're going to have to see a lot of usage from Goran Dragic. We saw that tonight, so I could get with that. Kemba at home against the Detroit Pistons. He's going to see Reggie Jackson, and then he's going to see some Ish Smith. I still like Kemba anytime he's at home. That salary is down to 7.2K. I like Kemba tomorrow. Kyrie Irving is going to play well against the New York Knicks tomorrow, especially if D Rose doesn't play. We got to check on that. Paul Millsap is questionable at 7.1. We've got Clay at 7K. I like him against Golden State. I mean, against LA Clippers. He's going to be seeing defense from who? JJ Redick. I like that. Rudy Gay, 6.9 is a really nice play against the Dallas Mavericks. Dwight Howard at 6.8, not so much. CJ McCollum against Milwaukee is a nice play at 6.8. Al Horford, 6.7. Nick Batum, 6.6. I like that. Jabari Parker, I like that, 6.5. Against Portland, Harrison Barnes, 6.5. Brook Lopez, 6.4. I like that against Denver. I really like Brook Lopez against Denver, especially with Jokic out. I like that. Serge Ibaka up to 6.4, but he's playing the Boston Celtics. We love to target the Boston Celtics rebounding. I like Serge Ibaka tomorrow. I even will probably like Vucevic or Biyombo as well, depending on the price points. Derrick Rose is going to be questionable at 6.4K. Jeff Teague going up against Eric Bledsoe, who is a very good defender. I don't like him at 6.4. We can definitely go to Wilson Chandler tomorrow at 6.3. Avery Bradley. If Isaiah Thomas is out, Avery Bradley becomes a very intriguing play, as well as Marcus Smart. We've got to look at that. D'Angelo Russell is still out. DeAndre Jordan is 6.3. Against Golden State, he's going to see Jaja Pachulia. He'll destroy him real quick. I like DeAndre Jordan tomorrow. Will Barton at 6.2 could be a decent play. Dennis Schroeder against Miami. Nah, I want none of that. Vucevic, of course, against Boston. I like his rebounding capabilities in that game. Lou Williams, Sweet Lou at 6.1. He's been shooting the lights out. I will have some Lou Williams tomorrow, especially against this subpar Houston perimeter defense, James Harden defense. I will have Lou Williams out there. Even though he's going to be playing a lot against the second team and Eric Gordon, I still think, Harden's usage is so high that he's still going to see some Lou Williams. And I like Lou Williams to score a lot tomorrow. Devin Booker at 6.1 is a nice play there. I like him. Miles Turner is going to be a nice play against Phoenix as well, 6.1. Kilpatrick is up to 6K flat. I like him against Denver. Tobias Harris against Charlotte. Nah, I don't like that too much. Julius Randle, no. Trevor Booker, KCP, no. He's got to show me he can score again. Danilo Gallinari at 5.7. The price hasn't gotten up on him too much, but he's going to be seeing probably the Brooklyn Nets' best defender in Rondae Hollis Jefferson. So I don't think I'll be going Danilo Gallinari tomorrow. Trevor Ariza is always a good play against the Lakers at 5.7. I like him. Deron Williams at 5.7. He looks like he's ready to go when he's back. I like him tomorrow, especially with Dirk out. I think the team has finally accepted that Dirk isn't going to be playing for a minute, and Deron Williams is really doing well, so I like him. Mason Plumlee, that's down to 5.6. I like that. At 6K, I didn't like Mason Plumlee, but at 5.6, I think we can give him a shot. 5.6 Reggie Jackson. No, I need full allotment of minutes before I can roster Reggie Jackson with confidence. Evan Fournier, we cannot let him being the snowflake of the night stop us from rostering him tomorrow against the Boston Celtics. But Avery Bradley is a really good defender. And if Marcus Smart gets the start and we don't see Isaiah Thomas, that will also bolster the the Celtics perimeter defense. So I'm not sure how I feel about Evan Fournier yet until the injury news comes out. Jay Crowder will be a decent play tomorrow at 5.6. Jordan Clarkson, no. Clint Capella, I like him. He's down to 5.5. I like Clint Capella tomorrow against the Lakers. Yeah, that's good. Eric Gordon's going to be a decent play at 5.3. Marcus Morris, no. Darren Collison, no. Wesley Matthews, no. Maurice Harkless, no. He's going to see a lot of Giannis. I don't like him tomorrow. Jokic is out. Pereira out. Justice Randle out. Thaddeus Young might be a decent play at 5K flat against the Phoenix Suns. Emmanuel Mudiay, no. Jameer Nelson, maybe. Maybe Jameer Nelson. Ryan Anderson, maybe. I like him. Kent Bazemore, he is still dead to me. He is still dead to me. Just throwing that out there. He's still dead to me. Tristan Thompson, I like him against Joakim Noah tomorrow. JJ Redick, no. Brandon Knight, maybe decent playoff on the bench. MKG at 4.6 against Detroit. Nah, I don't need that. Bismack Biyombo, 4.6. I would much rather just pay up to Vucevic or Ibaka before playing with Busy. I'm good on that. Ish Smith, 4.5. No. John Lure might be a decent play against Charlotte at 4.5. Frank Kaminsky, if he gets to start, nah, I still don't like him. Marcus Smart at 4.5. Be on the lookout to see if he gets to start tomorrow in place of the injured Isaiah Thomas. Brandon Ingram at 4.5. No. Monte Ellis is down to 4.5. That is a sneaky play. Monte Ellis is a sneaky play. Elfrid Payton, you can chase those points from tonight if you want to, but I don't think it's going to happen again. Matt Barnes might be a decent play at 4.4. Tyson Chandler 4.4. Wayne Ellington 4.3. So we've got a ton. Yusuf Nurkic against the Brooklyn Nets is down to 4.3K. I like that. I like that as a play. Thabo Sefolosha 4.1. Greg Monroe 4.1. Jamal Crawford off of the bench 4.1. Farouk Aminu at 4K flat, but we still need to see if he's going to get his full minutes. Brandon Jennings. Now, if Brandon Jennings get the start tomorrow for Derrick Rose, that's a must play. Against Kyrie, you've got to play Brandon Jennings tomorrow. If Derrick Rose is out, Jamal Murray at 3.9, I like that as a value play. Kyle Quinn, no. Alex Lynn, 3.9. That might be a decent play at 3.9 against the Indiana back front court. DJ Augustine, Luol Deng, Sam Decker. So we've got a ton of now Joakim Noah, 3.7 could be starting this game. We need to see what his injury situation is because something's wrong. He only played 14 minutes last night. So we've got a ton of really great plays on tomorrow's slate. Let's go ahead now and jump into the point totals for tomorrow's slate. And we're going to start in Atlanta, where the Hawks are giving up 8 points to the Miami Heat. We pretty much already know who's out for the Miami Heat. We know that Justin Winlow is going to be out, a couple other guys, but we've got a questionable Paul Millsap in this game. I think he's going to play. Who do I like? It's a 200-point total with Atlanta giving up 8 points. Whiteside is always in play, but against the Dwight Howard, I think that there's different battles that we can pick on when it comes to our center position because on a 10-game slate, there's going to be value popping up everywhere. No need to spin up if we don't have to. So if I had to go anybody on the Miami side of the ball, it would definitely be Goran Dragic. His usage is through the roof with so many other players injured. I like him. Kent Bazemore, who is dead to me, is a fairly decent defender. So that means I wouldn't like Wayne Ellington or Rodney McGruder and those guys too much because then you've got Thabo Sefolosha coming and playing good defense too. On the Atlanta side, I think Dwight Howard could be a decent play, but I don't. Again, same way with Whiteside. I don't want to chance that. If I don't have to spend up that much to maybe get a nice big double-double, then I won't do that if I don't have to. So the next game is going to be the Brooklyn Nets at home against the Denver Nuggets. This is a 221, a really nice point total with the Denver Nuggets giving up 5 points to the Brooklyn Nets. The Nets are yet again a home dog in a high point total, but the differential isn't that heavy. It's only 5 points. So I can see some Sean Kilpatrick in this game. I can see Brook Lopez definitely. I like Brook Lopez in this spot. Trevor Booker banging against Kevin Fareed might do well. On the Denver side, I like Wilson Chandler in this game. I think Wilson Chandler is going to be a really nice game. really nice play. He's gonna come off of the bench and see some Bojan Bogdanovic defense, and I like Wilson Chandler in this game. Danilo Gallinari is gonna be matched up a lot of time with Romney Hollis Jefferson, but when Wilson Chandler comes in, he's gonna get a straight up second teamer from the Brooklyn Nets, and I like Wilson Chandler tomorrow. The next game we're gonna get into, it's gonna be the LA Lakers going to the Houston Rockets. This is an 8 o'clock game, so we're gonna see the Harden ownership be very high because it's not a late game. Duh, that's part of it. But I do like Harden. It's a 220-point total with the Houston Rockets giving up 12. That's a big spread to invest that much in salary in. But the crazy thing about this is if it's a blowout, if they beat them by 12, it's because James Harden was so involved in the game that they had an awesome game. So if I like James Harden in this game at that salary, I'm gonna have to like some of his teammates, kind of make a mini stack. I like Patrick Beverly going up against Marcelo Huertas. I also like, of course, Clint Capella, and we may need to go ahead and throw Ryan Anderson in there, shooting them 3-point shots uh, off the kick-out dish from James Harden. On the Lakers side, the only player that I really, really like in this game would be maybe Brandon Ingram for the cheap or Lou Williams. Jordan Clarkson may even be in play too, but I like Lou Williams in this game, especially coming off of the back-to-back almost 40-point games. He had 40 and then 38. Who's to say that this is just not where he's at right now? He's shooting in the zone. You got to ride with him while he's hot. So I do like Lou Williams tomorrow in this game. The next game we're going to get into is going to be the Milwaukee Bucks at home against the Portland Trailblazers. This game is very tasty because it's a 217.5 total with the Milwaukee Bucks giving up 2. So they are a home dog. So we got Dame on the road and a 2-point differential with a 217-point total. I love Dame. I love Dame tomorrow. I also like Giannis, but I'm not going to be as high on Giannis as everybody else is. I think he's going to be the chalk play of the night. I think he's going to be the most high-owned stud across all industries tomorrow. Everybody loves Giannis, and they're waiting for another one of those 70-something point Giannis games tomorrow. I don't think it happens. I like C.J. McCollum and Dame Lillard on the Portland side. On the Milwaukee side, I think Giannis is going to have a good game, but I don't see him returning that 6x value on that sub 10K salary. Who else would we like? You got to take a look at Greg Monroe. He's been playing very well lately. He's going to come off of the bench, and he's going to see, the Myers Leonards and the maybe see like some Ed Davis for a little while. So I kind of do like him. The only problem is this is Jason Kidd we're dealing with, and we never know exactly how his rostering is going to pan out. We don't know how, even during games, we don't know what he's going to do. At some point, like, he's willing to grab the guy selling hot dogs and be like, yo, get in there, you're a point guard. Like, he makes everybody a point guard. So, as we can tell with Giannis. Now, the next game we're going to get into is going to be my New York Knicks at the crib in MSG with the Cleveland Cavaliers coming to town. This is a 217-point total with a kind of a small point differential. I thought this was going to be a blowout, but we've got Cleveland only giving up 7.5 to the New York Knicks. If I was a betting man, and I am, I would definitely take Cleveland and the over with the points and the point total, because I think the Knicks are going to get shellacked at home tomorrow. I like Love to really play well in this game. I also love Kyrie Irving in this game. I won't be on LeBron as much because the salary is so high, and they don't need everybody to beat the Knicks down. I mean, they don't need LeBron to beat the Knicks down because so many other guys on the team can play well against the Knicks. So I don't think I'll be rostering LeBron very much tomorrow. On the New York Knicks side, if Brandon Jennings starts and Derrick Rose is out, I love me some Brandon Jennings tomorrow. He's probably the only place that I would go, like, for sure, definite. You can look to Porzingis. That price is up on him. He's 8K. Going up against Kevin Love. He can draw Kevin Love against the basket. Who is that going to help get rebounds too? It won't be a Knicks player. It's going to be Tristan Thompson. I like Tristan Thompson in this game tomorrow. On the Cleveland side, if I had to pick 2 guys right now on the roster, it would be Tristan Thompson and it would be Kyrie Irving. The next game is the Dallas Mavericks at home against the Sacramento Kings. This is one of the lowest point totals on the entire slate. Actually, it's the lowest point total on the slate, and that's going to chase a lot of people off of this game. The Mavericks have not been scoring a ton of points so far this year, but their last couple of games, they've kind of found an offensive groove and they've been playing well. So if I was a betting man, and I am, I would definitely bet the over, but I would take Sacramento giving up 3.5 points to the Dallas Mavericks while Dallas Mavericks are at home. I like Boogie in this game. We know Andrew Bogut is going to be out, so we're going to see some Salah Mejri, which could be a fairly decent value play if you think so. Um, don't know how I feel about Harrison Barnes going up against Rudy Gay, who I really like in this game. I actually like Rudy Gay more than I like Boogie. So if I had to roster two guys from the Sacramento side like right now, put a gun in my head, I would take Darren Collison and I would take Rudy Gay. I like those two guys tomorrow. Boogie is definitely in play because he's Boogie, but the point total is so low that I'm not sure, how I feel about rostering him and investing that much salary into the lowest point total on the slate. That would definitely be a contrarian play. Definition: contrarian play is when you go against the norm and it works for you and it works well. All right. On the Dallas side, of course, I said I like Darren Williams. I like him a lot tomorrow. I also like Dwight Powell off of the bench. You can go Salah Mejri because the salary is so cheap that he kind of can't fuck that up. But he's going to be seeing Costa Kufas, which could be a decent matchup for him. So Salah Mejri is definitely in play as a punt option at center if you are trying to do what I'm suggesting and roster as many ball handling point guards or shooting guards on your DraftKings roster. The next game is going to be the Indiana Pacers going to Phoenix to take on the Suns. The Suns are in the second leg of a back-to-back. It's a 219-point total, which is very juicy. We've got Indiana giving up 4 to Phoenix. This game to me screams. It screams for us to roster Paul George. I love Paul George tomorrow. I think he's going to have a really good game against this Phoenix team. We've also got Miles Turner. That's going to be seeing a combination of Tyson Chandler and Alex Len. I think we can trust Tyson Chandler. I even like Thad Young at that price point he's at. And Monte Ellis is definitely a sneaky play with that salary being so low. So there's a few different directions you can go. I would go a big and a perimeter player on the Indianapolis side. I mean the Indiana side, and the big I would call Paul George the big, and I would maybe take a shot on either. I would go Monte Ellis. I like Monte Ellis tomorrow. On the Phoenix side, I think we're going to see a really nice game from the perimeter in this game. Most notably, Eric Bledsoe, but I do think that you can look to Brandon Knight to have a nice game against the Indiana second team. The next game and the last game on the slate is the juiciest, and it's the latest game on the slate for a reason. This is where all your late night hammers will come from. This is the game that when you're sitting there and all your players are done and you see the PMR, which means player minutes remaining, and it says 0, and the dude behind you has 48, and he's got Kevin Durant, he's going to run your ass down. This is where that game's going to come from. This is where all that's going to come from. It is the Golden State Warriors traveling to the Los Angeles Clippers in a 223.5 point total, with Golden State giving up 4 points. So that means the Clippers, Chris Paul, CP3, and his gang is a home dog. This game is going to be good. This is going to be a good game. And it's not going to be decided in 3 quarters. This game is going to go the distance. All of these guys involved will see their full allotments of minutes. I implore you, in some way, shape, or form, get a meaningful member of one of these teams on your rosters tomorrow. You're going to need to have that late night hammer. Then the ownership on these guys are not going to be as high as you think they'll be. It should be because the point total is 223. But the fact that it's a late game, people just don't roster teams in the late games as much as if they were in the earlier game. So I love Chris Paul tomorrow. I'm gonna have to wait until 10:30 to cash in that first point guard slot because I definitely like CP3 tomorrow. On the Clippers side, staying there, I like Jordan more than I like Blake Griffin. I won't see very much Blake Griffin tomorrow. I would rather go cheaper, and go with DeAndre Jordan. So the two guys I like from the Clippers side would be DeAndre Jordan, of course, and CP3. On the Golden State side, the big four is definitely in play here. They are definitely in play here. We're gonna see some stacks. We're gonna see a lot of stacks. I think Kevin Durant can have a really good game. This is a statement game. He's got to have a great game against the LA Clippers, just to solidify, him passing on them and coming over to Golden State. He's there to win a championship. He is there to pound these other teams down. We know the arrogance of the Golden State coach. I don't think they're going to let their foot off the gas. This is going to be a nice, high-scoring game. We can definitely look to Klay Thompson and Draymond Green. A lot of folks are going to go Curry. I don't like Curry as much because he's going to be seeing the CP3 defensive special. I don't think I'm going to be rostering too much Curry, but I will have some because dude can go off. I will have some, just not a lot. I won't have as much as the field does, but I will have some. So on the Golden State side, my most liked players are Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, and Kevin Durant. But I think you've got to get KD in at least one of your lineups tomorrow. Now that we have gone through tomorrow's 10-game slate, I just wanted to remind you, man, there are many ways to support the show. You're actually choosing the best way right now just by giving me a voice and viewing me on YouTube. Thank you so much. This is where we got our start at. But there are other ways. On the YouTube setting, if you look over here, you can see where it says support the show. That's a tip jar that YouTube provides for us. You are more than welcome to drop a tip for your boy in the tip jar. We also have DFS Sweatshop swag. If you are a frequent flyer in the 300 Club and you want to support some DFS Sweatshop swag, you can definitely go online and grab that. I'm going to put the link at the bottom of the video. If you want to just support my personal PayPal, send a little something friends and family. It is simmonsmaurice95@yahoo.com. That is the PayPal. And if you want to become a full-fledged member of the DFS Sweatshop family, what you can do is go to dfssweatshop.com, register there. After your paid subscription, you will receive a password that will give you instant access to the daily spreadsheets, the cheat sheets, the core 4 plays that I only release there and in the VIP. By the way, shout out to all my VIP members. And if you're a FanDuel user, there is an excellent show, two gentlemen that I really like. I actually talked to one of them earlier, put my FanDuel lineup in, and that's the one that tripled me up. Kyle and George over at the Sports World. They are some stand-up awesome guys, and I'll be on their show one day next week. This has been your DFS Jerusalem. You can follow me on Twitter at DFS Jerusalem. Signing off, telling you the number one thing we always do in the DFS Sweatshop is what? Keep it 300.